Okay, with me, Hrishi K. It's my lucky day. That rhymes. Two of the loveliest girls in the business are hanging with me in lockdown, and I'm not complaining. Jasleen Royal, how are you? Good to see you. It's been a while.
I'm good. Yeah, it's been a while. How have you been?
I've been okay. I couldn't complain. And Radhika, thankfully, you're not with that mad Baba friend of mine again, homie. He didn't even let you talk the last time around. I said, what the hell is,
I
what the hell is
know,
this? It's only you who
what
are talking,
is this?
So I'm happy at least we have somebody nice like Jasleen who will allow you to talk. So I'm going to start with you, Radhika. I'm quite stunned by the fact that you play the keyboards. I mean, is it something you started learning when you were in school? Did you have a tutor coming home? Did you learn online? How did that happen? Tell us about that.
Nothing like that. Nothing, not at all. I just remember that, वो जो मॉम डैड आपको दिला नहीं देते कीबोर्ड बचपन में. आई थिंक जब आप 8-9 के होते हो कि बस सॉन्ग्स कुछ भी प्ले करते रहो. So I had
Casio from sorry to interrupt, but Casio from Palika Bazaar basement.
हाँ.
so I used to call keyboard Casio for the longest time. और मैंने जसलीन से भी बात करते हुए बोला यार मुझे कैसियो बजाना आता है. तो कहती है it's not Casio, it's a brand. Like Casio is a brand, so
Yeah.
it's
I was
keyboard.
just acting cool, but everyone started like that only. I also started on a Casio. Anyway.
तो यार
Sure.
longest time अभी भी यार कभी कभी मुंह से कैसियो निकल जाता है. तो मैं कैसियो बजाती थी तब. एंड आई रिमेम्बर कि जब भी मैं कोई सॉन्ग सुनती थी आई यूज्ड टू प्ले इट ऑन द कीबोर्ड. एंड मेरे मॉम बोलते थे अरे अरे वाह 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 वाह, बट दैट इज इट. देन आफ्टर दैट आई नेवर प्लेड कीबोर्ड. Nothing like that happened before the lockdown. As soon as the lockdown happened, I used to keep telling people that I want to learn keyboard, I want to learn tap dancing, but time nahi hai. But as soon as I got time, I was like, okay, now it's time to practice what I preach. So I need to learn keyboard. So online, I started learning keyboard, and then Jasleen came on board, and she just taught me a lot of things, and that's how everything happened.
Wow, cool. So if people ask you what skill you worked on in lockdown, your skill would be, polishing my skills on the keyboard. That's quite
Correct.
cool.
Yeah. My transition from Casio to keyboard.
From cashier to keyboard. Well said. And I believe, Jasleen, this is really the first time you've ever picked up the accordion. I mean, the accordion is such a beautiful classic thing. I mean, it reminds you of classic Bollywood cinema, classic Hollywood
Yeah.
musicals. It's such a romantic instrument.
Hmm.
But I also imagine a heavy instrument.
Oh yeah,
So
it's really heavy.
yeah, talk to me about the accordion. I mean, how you decided this is what you want to do with this particular song. Have you uh, practiced on it before? Things like that.
So like how Radhika said, like I was also planning to pick up the accordion at some point and do something about it because I had one lying at my home. So I bought shop se pehle I was getting one from Paris and everything. So one of my friends, Daniel B. George, he's the crazy musician. So he just said कि मेरे घर पे पड़ा हुआ है, ले जा. तो एक दिन बजा तो 1 साल से पड़ा हुआ था. I never got the time and lockdown के time पे. So Radhika was playing her keyboard and I was just trying to help her like to add more notes to whatever she was already playing. So वो करते करते I just picked up the accordion and I started jamming on her chord progression. So like it just happened very naturally because I was also trying to pick something up and do. And lockdown we got the time, so that's how it happened, and I just started playing it.
So, has Danny's accordion gone back to his studio, or have you just kept it?
And now it's not going back.
Happens all the time. If I take a book that I really love, I don't return it, and I just say, you love something that I love, you can take it from my house, but you ain't getting this. That's my old book.
Yeah. So actually just gifted it to me. ऐसे रख ली routine like कि अब वापस नहीं मिलेगा बजा.
Yeah. So, how did LagJaGale itself happen? I mean, I know Radhika, she said that she was helping you with some chord progression, but was that chord progression the song itself, or was it just some random song, and then you decided to jam on this particular song? The choice of song and to decide to do this collaboration.
I think like we were just jamming. Okay. So if you listen to the introduction of the song, it is not related to LagJaGale at all.
It
It's a
isn't.
different, yeah, it's totally different from the song. So that is what we were doing, and organically, the lyrics started flowing, and we were like, okay, let's do it. Let's just work on that. So LagJaGale just happened really organically. Like none of us,
Mm.
we didn't discuss at all that okay, let's shoot this song. But when LagJaGale happened, it was something that we could relate to, because there was so much of uncertainty outside,
Mm.
and we realized that what we have is today, and what we have
Mm.
is this present moment. And the song had that vibe. The song was saying the
Yeah.
same thing. So I think what we were feeling while playing the keyboard and while playing the accordion, and what the song was like, what it meant, it just came in together, and uh, just it was very, very organic, and that's how we decided on LagJaGale.
I'm actually quite thrilled and surprised at the same time, because you would expect girls in their 20s, early, mid, late 20s, like the two of you, uh, to pick stuff which is even retro, maybe 90s music. But to pick up a 64 classic and do your thing on it, I mean, Jasleen, was that the stuff that you grew up listening to in Ludhiana? Or Radhika, I mean, were there classics playing in your house in Delhi when you were growing up?
Yeah,
Jasleen.
as in like this is a song which is timeless and which is evergreen. Yeah, that's what I keep telling everyone. Like sometimes we just get so lost in what's trending,
Yeah.
and some of the songs are so short-lived, but they come and go, but they make an impact and then they just disappear. But LagJaGale is a song doesn't which is not gonna disappear because it's so pure. It makes you feel something, and which is relevant even now. So that's how it happened. Like it's. I think music does that to you. So it's never like an old song or a new song. It's if you like the song, you like the song. As in, like I don't have a playlist where I decide like retro songs or new songs. I just have a few songs that I love.
That's interesting. So you're more about the sound than thinking about the period. Radhika, you like that too? Does your playlist, for example, have one current song suddenly going into an old song? Do you do a mix of that, or do you keep your playlist separate? Like you have a classic playlist and a current playlist and things like that.
So I actually have different playlists. um but I really like songs that has soul. Like
Yeah.
LagJaGale is all soul. So
Hmm.
कभी कभी, and बचपन में I remember when जब मैं 15-16 भी होती थी, तो मेरे रूम में हमेशा आर डी बर्मन और एस डी बर्मन यही सब गाने चलते थे। LagJaGale भी बज रहा होता था, और मेरे पेरेंट्स आते थे, वो बोलते थे यार तू अपने एज के हिसाब से क्यों नहीं चलती है, तो कौन सी उम्र में जी रही है, हम भी नहीं सुनते। तो मैं बोलती थी नहीं यार, फील है,
Hmm.
कुछ कुछ दिल को आपको छूता है। तो yeah, एक how she said, there's timelessness to these songs, जो short lived नहीं है, जो अभी तक चले जा रहे हैं। आई थिंक हमारे बाद भी जो जनरेशन आएगी, शायद वो लोग भी रेजोनेट कर पाएंगे
Hmm.
उससे।
Yeah, because it's quite interesting. I heard your version of Lag Ja Gale, and I heard it a couple of times, and I really loved it. I mean, actually, it's a different song. It's not even a retake. I mean, it is a totally different song. I mean, the bedrock, the basis is the same. But I actually went back and YouTube the original, and I was like, dude, I haven't heard the original in a long time. And
Hmm.
a lot of people are going to be doing that. They're going to listen to your
Hmm.
version and actually go back and say, oh, wow, this was Sadhana ji and this was Manoj Kumar and this is Mokanthi. And, you see
Yeah.
that in the black and white tinge. And
Hmm.
it's quite amazing. So big ups to you guys because you've actually diverted a lot of traffic to the classics, apart from
Hmm.
what you've done with this one. So I understand that you guys in your respective hometown, I mean, Jasleen, you've gone back to Ludhiana
Yeah.
and Radhika is in Delhi. But this whole thing, this collab happened when you guys were in Bombay before you left.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
did it happen online on software? Did you manage to meet at all, or were you in complete state of lockdown by the time you started working? Justine.
Yeah. So we were in a lockdown. We were at our respective homes, and we were doing everything on a video call or whatever. And then then she sent me uh some music piece, and then I put it on my software, and that's how it happened, and I added my accordion to it. And then I sent her the final fire, and then she shot it with the help of a cook, and I did it with my help here. So ऐसे करते करते we just put it all together.
That is so cool. So basically, your house help, your cook shot the video of you. Some frontal shots, some side shots is quite cool.
It's quite cool, and like it's like really tough to like it takes a lot of time because for her to just explain कि camera सीधा रखना है, it's a job for her because she's like,
Mm.
how does it matter? You're looking pretty.
Mm.
In this
Yeah.
angle of this angle, how does it matter? Are you crazy? And she used to get
Yeah.
irritated as well. कि it's the same shot. Why is she
Mm.
making this shot again and again and again and again? It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. So I used to explain it to her that okay, अगर आप ऐसे कर दोगे तो कंप्यूटर पे ऐसा लगेगा. तो एक एक चीज समझाना ऊपर देन उसको कन्विंस करना मुझसे ज्यादा उसको convince करना. Why is it important?
Yeah.
It was fast, but it was so much fun. And another thing happened, like while I was shooting the song, I just called Jasleen up because I found uh, um, an anklet of mine. I think Payal Thi Ya Kya Thi, which I bought during the shoot of Angrezi Medium, and I just told Jasleen that I just asked her that can we do something with it, and she was like, yeah, sure. And on WhatsApp audio, like how you send a voice note, I recorded the sound of the chimes, right? And that's how she integrated those sounds into the song.
So
That's
like we
quite
wanted to keep everything organic. So like she had that file, so I told her to just tap it on her hand और एक कान में मेट्रोनोम लगा ले, ऐप डाउनलोड करके क्लिक बज करेगा और उसके ऊपर एक दो पैटर्न बजा के just send it to me and I'll just chop it and like put it somewhere. So that's how we added that little thing, which like just made a lot of sense, and
Yeah,
we had fun
that's
with it.
quite cool. I mean, it's like, you hear stories of R.D. Burman during Churalia, actually taking a glass and banging and things like that.
Yeah.
Great improv skills. So I know that, your Gharwale Didi helped you. God bless her, So who held the camera for you in Bombay?
My help only. तो पहले उसको बिठाना पड़ता था, फिर मैं उसको दिखा रही थी कि ऐसे करके ऐसे आई हो, हिलना नहीं चाहिए, सीधा आना चाहिए, like it has to be steady. And I did a little research on YouTube, like how do you reveal, how do you shoot it, like to teach him. So a lot of like effort went into it, but I was happy doing that, and we just it just came together like that.
So, in that aspect, the music, the profession that you and me are in, Jasleen, which is predominantly audio. I mean, the video is important too. When you get down to it, we can still do it from home studios, and that's a really lucky thing. But I think the profession that Radhika is a little more tricky because you don't know when you're going to get out. Film units and shootings are not quite easy places. There's entourages and people and things like that. So this is the time when people like you and me, Justine, can cultivate gratitude and say, fine, at least we can put our heads down and work. Have you gotten a lot achieved during the lockdown, or have you just gone with the flow? Do you wake up in the morning saying I need to work on stuff, or do you just say, I'm not going to be hard on myself, aaya to aaya?
No, actually, I've had a lot of stuff which is pending, Perebi, and also like I got a lot of clarity during the time because there was no deadline pressure, so I could understand what I want to do actually. Sometimes you get so lost in the deadlines and जो आ रहा है करे जा रहे हो. So then I could choose what I have to do and what I don't have to do, which made a lot of sense in my head. It gave me a lot of clarity. So Baki, like there are a few singles I'm working on. I'm working on my own music and did some ad work and all of that. So like luckily, I've been one of those fortunate ones who've been working during the lockdown too.
Like Clinton was telling me that he had made a policy decision saying that he's going to keep his studio away from his home. But it didn't matter anymore because once the lockdown hit, it was work from home. Either you work or you don't, So a lot of us can't even make that choice anymore. You've just got to put your head down and work. How's it been for you, Radhika? I mean, I know a lot of friends of mine in the business are a little stressed about what's going to happen. Some are talking to colleagues saying, कि अगर shoot करेंगे तो कैसे करेंगे? When we get out there, are we going to have masks? I mean, the background crew behind the camera can have masks and protective gear, but the actor and the actress or the characters who are in front of the camera
Hmm.
can't have that. So,
Correct.
have you been dialoguing with colleagues, trying to figure out what's going to happen, or have you been worried about it, or you're saying it's okay? How's life in lockdown been as far as work is concerned?
It's not in my hands. It's for them to figure it out. So I'm just not, uh, just banging my head into it. I'm just working on myself. I just want to be a better person and a better artist every single day. I just want to learn new things every single day. That is my job. My job is not to, um, be concerned about the numbers or to make arrangements or just to stress about कि अरे shoot कैसे होगी. वो producer के पैसे लग रहे हैं ना, उसको stress होना चाहिए. हमें पैसे मिलेंगे ठीक है,
Yeah.
but but I think as an artist I feel like आपको खुद के ऊपर काम करना बहुत जरूरी है. That is what I work on. That is what
Hmm.
I've been doing during this lockdown. I've picked up new skills. I wrote a few things. I learned piano. I learned tap dancing. So I was just working on myself. Watched a lot of films and spent time with family. Read a lot of things. So that is it. That is it. बीच में of course थोड़ी बहुत हम online जो posts करते रहते हैं उसके लिए shoot करना होता है. But
Sure.
I also did an online play.
Yeah,
So
I saw that. I saw an Insta post, uh,
yes,
which Roshan Abbas had put out. You and Roshan
correct.
Abbas,
Hmm.
and that must have been so much fun doing an online play.
It
Wow.
was so amazing. So I wasn't missing being in front of the camera because I thought this is what it is now, I believe, and let's just
Yeah.
make use of it. So I was polishing my skills and just learning something new every day. So that is it. That is what I was thinking during the lockdown. And
Yeah,
now,
I think
now
that's superb. I think it's superb. As opposed to a lot of actors and professionals who are letting this whole thing weigh down on them, you're just turning around and saying,
Yeah.
let me soak in life experiences. Because
Yeah.
what are you as actors? Your life experiences make you, and when you get onto the set,
absolutely.
eventually, all of this that you're doing is going to help you put out a better performance. So big ups to you.
True.
You of course have been keeping really busy, and you've been doing some great stuff. I mean, in the sense that you took the Gully Boy song, and you did a very interesting take on it, and that I want to know what that view is that your house in Ludhiana? Is that the terrace of your
That's the
house?
that's the farmhouse. Uh,
Wow.
yeah. So
So
I
this
I
is
just
your
felt
dad your family's farmhouse away from Ludhiana, is it? Is that where you guys?
yeah, like this 40 minutes drive.
Wow. So you were on
Yeah.
the terrace just strumming your guitar, and
Yeah.
that was the background. So you see Kates and
Yeah.
all everywhere, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
काफी काफी फिल्मी साउंड कर रहा है बट हाँ ऐसा दिखते खेत.
And who did the camera for that? Your brother?
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah. So that was beautiful. I mean, it's a song that is so timeless. People like the three of us are going to sit here 50 years from now, some other people, and having a discussion on Jasleen Royal's song, just like we're talking about LagJaGale.
Wow.
But the idea of just uh, doing it for this time during this space and doing it
Hmm.
there at the farmhouse. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I just felt like singing that song because, a lot of like, there's a lot of stuff going on social media, and I've always felt that, having conversations is like really important. Like those heartfelt conversations, which can sometimes get difficult, are really important. So that's what the song is about. And I wrote it. I wrote that song for my friends who were going through a tough time. That just open yourself up and talk to me, and we'll figure it all out together. So I just and this time has been so heavy.
Yeah.
There's so much to deal with. So I just felt like putting it out there so that even like if it reaches 2-3 people and who get inspired by it, and they end up reaching out to people they love, it'll just sort like solve the purpose of the song. So that's what I was trying to do.
Good on you. Great stuff. And Radhika, I saw a picture of you with a ukulele. Is that a ukulele?
Yes, yes, yeah.
So how far have you gotten on that? Are you taking tips from Jasleen on that too?
I think I should start. Good idea. मैं खुद ही कर रही हूँ. Just make song on ukulele.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
You've got the keyboard and the accordion done. So,
Yeah.
time to bring it
That's
on.
next on the list, huh? That's next on the list for sure.
Remember, you got the idea here.
Yes.
No, but have you started work on it? I'm just asking on the
Yeah,
lark. I mean, you're
just
seeing.
little, this basic stuff, basic chords, and that is it.
Interesting.
मैंने बहुत पहले से खरीदा हुआ था, but उसका मैंने कुछ किया नहीं है अभी तक. But thanks for reminding me. I need to start working on it. I'll pick that skill up.
So listen, how long have you guys been buddies, Radhika? I mean, did you? It's not often that actresses and music composers and singers get to hang out professionally. So I'm not saying that you guys knew each other professionally first. It must have been like a. Did you meet and hang out at a friend's place? How long do you know each other, and how did this friendship happen?
I think it's been a year.
Yeah, a year and a half.
Roughly a year, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was right after Marg Ko Dard Nahi Hota. And I've always been Jaseen's fan. Like, from the way I used to watch her in India's Got Talent when she came
Yeah,
in
India's Got Talent. Yeah.
favorite contestant. And I remember eating food and just praying for her to win the show. I was a kid. And
It doesn't feel like you're a kid and all. Like, come on.
like I'm not a kid. I'm just 2-3 years old.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So I've been her fan since a long time. And after Marg, I think I got her message.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what happened. Like I saw Marg Ko Dard Nahi Hota, and I was like really impressed by her performance. Like some characters like stay with you when you finish watching a film.
Yeah.
And I just felt like writing to her, like, fuck, like that was amazing, and the action she's done, how she's done it, and whatever. And like it understandably, like just let her know, like it's a great performance. The message, I went to her Instagram profile and I saw a follow back instead of following. I was like, okay, wow. Then I messaged her, and then I got to know she's been following me, and she saw my India's Got Talent audition, and it was just like mutual admiration, which just turned into this friendship. And also, she's like so into music and poetry that we've always had conversations when we go to our common friends' houses. Like there's Apar and there's Sanya, so we end up like discussing a lot of music and poetry. So say like I think that's how like music has become a part of like our friendship.
Awesome. And to me, Nit Nit is another song that has I mean, it's been a while since it came out. It's been about 3 or 4 months, but
Yeah.
it's helped a lot of people through this lockdown. And Radhika will really agree with me. And I think for you, what comes naturally is singing these Punjabi lyrics, And is this your long-time collaborator, the lyric writer? I mean, you've done some work before, haven't you? You
Yeah,
guys.
we've done. Yeah, we've done Nasdeni Sare and Kidri Tara in this one. Yeah.
So talk about Nit Nit now. I mean, you must be getting so much love for that song, the video. I mean, I hadn't seen Rajat Barmecha since Udan, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's great to have him in the video. Talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. Like I loved Duran. Like I'm a fan of Rajat, and it's one of my favorite films. So it was great to have him on the video. And yeah, like Nitrit is just a very special song in a way that first of all it stars my dog in it.
What's his name?
Kobe.
Kobe.
Yeah.
It's Jasleen and Kobe. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like very personal. The song is very personal, and and yeah, like that's how it happened, and to have Rajat on board, and even Suhail do a cameo in the video was pretty cool. And like I've been getting a lot of messages on Insta and everything. People are loving it, so it's like really overwhelming, and I love that it's been received so well.
And Kobe is from Kobe, the basketball player. God
No,
bless his
Kobe
soul.
is just Kobe because when I looked at him, he just looked like a Kobe to me. It makes no sense.
So these last couple of months haven't been easy for the film business. I mean, I remember you coming into my studio, Jasleen, and telling me, I think Shivai or
Huh.
some song happened because of Irfan Khan in a way, because
Oh
he
yeah,
you were over at their house and you were playing, and it just happened, and we lost Irfan.
yeah.
Radhika obviously was very personally affected by that, because you're so close to him. um, so just your comments on losing him. Mr. Kapoor, of course, was a previous generation, and
Hmm.
now it's really
Hmm.
unfortunate what happened with Sushant. So I'd like
Yeah.
you guys to just a couple of lines on Irfan, on Sushant, both of you. Jasleen.
Um. Yeah. Like I remember meeting Irfan sir when I had not even moved to Bombay. I
Yeah.
was in Delhi. I got a call from his friend that Irfan sir is having a party musical night at his house, which is very unusual. It's not like a regular event. It's like happens once in a blue moon. So he said like he would like to invite you. Him and his son Babel. They loved my song Panchi,
Hmm.
and they called me. I remember flying from Delhi to Bombay to join them for that night, and he was so welcoming. And like I didn't know how to greet them and how to, like, I was a little nervous, and I just extended my hand, and he's like he just like ignored that and gave me a side hug. And that whole night we were just discussing and listening to poetry, and Ishad Kamal was there, and it was so nice. And I remember the next day when I went back home, he called me because at one point at the party I asked him like what should I do, like should I reach out to people or what. And then he called me and he said like तुम ज़्यादा जल्दी मत करो, तुम पहुंच जाओगे, अपने आप पहुंच जाओगे.
Wow.
So so it was so encouraging and nice of him to say that to me because like I was just a newcomer. And after a few months, I got a call from Shivai's team that we heard you at Irfan sir's house, and we want Ajay sir would like to meet you. So that's how I got Shivai, and I think it's all because of Irfan sir. And I would always remember his encouraging words, and he was so warm and so nice to me.
And Radhika, that hug thing, uh, something similar happened with you, isn't it? I mean, the first time you met him, you also went for the
Yeah,
handshake and you got a hug. What a lovely man.
yeah, exactly. The similar thing happened. Like I just addressed him. This was my very first meeting with him, and I just said, "Hi, Papa," and he just smiled and he was like, "Okay, acha, aap hai," and he just gave me a hug, and that is it. Like it was so encouraging how he was with me on set, and he just and he addressed me as an equal, yeah, as a fellow artist, and it's so important to do that. Like this is a learning that I'm gonna keep with myself till the very end. Like he didn't demean me or he didn't like look down upon me. Karit, you don't have a lot of experience. I'm Irfan Khan, the international star. He didn't do that. He actually used to ask me, how do you see the scene? And how do you uh, feel about this and feel about that? And it's so encouraging uh, for a person like me who's fairly new in the industry to get that kind of encouragement.
And to me, what you girls have done is just the perfect example of how you tackle your lives. Uh, you were in Bombay in lockdown, Radhika, and once the flight started opened up, you went back home to family, isn't it? And it's just so
Yeah.
important, especially for actors who are living alone. Bombay is a great place, Karam Bhumi and this and that. But the fact that you went back to family and you're now cocooned there with family, that must be really lovely. And in light of what Sushant went through, I think it's more important for all of us right now to reach out to our friends, to reach out to our families, to reach out to even professionals if we need that help. So talk about that. Talk about being in lockdown alone, and then when things opened up, just coming back to your family.
I think in this lockdown, I've learned a lot of things here. I've learned what's actually important. We just keep running in this rat race, getting nowhere. Like, I'm so grateful that I have food on my plate, or I have my health with me, and I have a loving family. That is what is important to me. That is it. I think that is what I've learned in this lockdown. How, like, what is my actual priority? And I had not met them for good 3 months. And as soon as the flights opened up, I was like, I need to see them, because I remember my mom calling me on Mother's Day because I had put out a very emotional post on my Instagram account, and I just picked up the phone and she was crying on the phone, and I couldn't be with her. Just I couldn't hug her. I couldn't console her. I couldn't tell her that it's okay. I'm okay here. You don't need to worry about me. I couldn't. I was missing her physical touch so much. We sometimes take all these little things for granted because we
Yeah.
just keep telling that we don't have time, and I'm busy with this interview and I have this project. But when everything comes at a halt, or when everything pauses, you realize that you actually don't crave. You crave going on set, but not that much. What you actually crave is your mother's lap. You need
Very
that
beautifully put.
peaceful sleep, and that is what your priority is. And that's why as soon as the flights opened up, I rushed home.
Justine, what we were just talking about is something I need you to
Yeah.
comment on. It's just lovely that the two of you, you live in Bombay. It's your Karam Bhumi. You do all your work there, and there's
Hmm.
been so much talk about how all of us as artists go through tremendous pressure. People in other professions also go through a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's just that there's a lot of spotlight on us, but it's very important to reach out. If you're living
Hmm.
with a partner, with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or your husband or a wife, it's great because you have that support at home. Yeah.
Hmm.
The other end of the spectrum, if you don't have that particular support, it's very important to do what you girls did, which is, when flights opened up, just went back home.
Hmm.
And it must
Yeah.
be so wonderful to be cocooned with family, Jasleen, in
Yeah.
Ludhiana at this time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like I actually drove from Mumbai to Ludhiana because of my dog, and I just want to be home and spend that time with my family. Like Radhika said, like during the lockdown, you got a lot of clarity. Like you get clarity work wise, what you want to do, and what you want to do with your time. You always like keep procrastinating. कि हाँ कर लेंगे, कल करेंगे, परसों करेंगे. And sometimes like earlier, I used to come back home and I would just eat my food, watching a show or something. Like I'd have dinner with my parents or whatever. But in the lockdown, I realized like I don't want to waste this time, saying that कि कल करूँगा परसों. It's very important to have those connections, your support system, and to have those friends and family members in your life because that's what matters in the end.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So it's
Okay. Before we wrap, Jasleen, get your your instrument, your tools of
yes.
your trade out. And I would request you to maybe start with a little bit of let's have a medley. So let's start with a
Okay.
little bit of LagJaGale,
Hmm.
and then maybe we can go to Nit Nit, and then maybe we can sign off with Girls Like You, the Maroon 5 song, Cardi B song, which I saw a version of, again, such a beautiful
Yeah.
version that you've done.
Thank
So
you.
if you could give us a medley of these three, then Radhika and me can just be your cheerleaders.
Woohoo!
Thank you. So this is the song that Radhika and I just did together. I'll sing a couple of lines. जागरे कि फिर हंसी रात हो शायद फिर से जन्म मुलाकात हो ना हो जागरे
Whoa!
Thank
Let's
you.
do Nit Nit.
नित नित तेरे उत्ते निंदरा उड़ाइया अंबरा तू कुछ तारे देनगे गवाइया नित नित तेरे उत्ते दौलत लुटाइया थोड़ी कुछ के आ तुम्हें कदरा पाइया दिल दुखा के तेरा तुझसे सो गया है वे यार रुस के बह गया इश्क मेरे तो मर्दानी मेरी याद तेरा गया कुछ नहीं मेरा तेरा कुछ नहीं गया तेरा सच नहीं वो तेरा गया कुछ नहीं मेरा तेरा कुछ नहीं गया तेरा सच नहीं वो तेरा गया कुछ नहीं मेरा तेरा कुछ नहीं गया तेरा सच
Sweet.
नहीं
And that's how
I'll
girls
just
like
do
you now, please.
girls like you and Radhika please join in with
Come on, Radhika.
Mine. Come on.
Okay. One second, I'm just figuring out the key. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. Girls like you don't know, guys like me to someone I come to. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Girls like you, love fun, yeah. Me do what I want when I come to. I need a girl like you, yeah, 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 yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, 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 yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah.
Beauty.
Thank you.
Listen, Radhika, I forgot to ask you, is Shiddat completely over or there's some portions left to be shot? Your film with Kunal Deshmukh, Sunny Kaushal, where is
It's
that?
done. It's
It's
done.
done.
It's
Okay.
done.
So
So
obviously there are no announcements on the release date as yet. It's
not
done,
yet.
you're just
I
waiting
think
for.
there's some patchwork left. That depends on KD how he wants to, if he wants to reshoot or not. But we're done with the shoot. So
I can't wait to
we
speak to
don't
you
know.
about that. Lots of love. Radhika, thank you so much. Jasleen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us joy with your music, your personalities, and thank you for doing this. This was so
Thank you so
special.
much for having us.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Hrishi. All right.
Bye. See you.
Bye.